Play Evos versus TNC. And as we see everybody get to the lanes here, like we said, right, Mycophobia on this Natalia again, going to be looking to do the same thing he did yesterday against a Blacklist International. And just across the board, right, even just looking, SD still rolling with that Demon Slayer emblem, of course, on this jungle Baksha. Doesn't want to give that one away just yet, but still, you know, how is that going to match up? H2O actually defaulting to the Demon Slayer as well to go head-to-head with SD.
There's a lot of questions for TNC here. Number one, where is their burst going to come from? There's literally none. Given that your support, your mid laner is Escalera, but wait, quick, mid? Oh, bottom?
Oh, look at the bottom lane, though. James is having a bit of a hard time. But at least he is able to clear out the waves. And right now, Mycophobia, he's going to be spotted out, but will it be too late? Mycophobia might be in trouble here. He slowed down a little bit, and that's going to be first blood going over to TNC.
Man, so like, I mean, I understand what they were going for there, but just unfortunately couldn't get that. And now still in the jungle, H2O is going to be in trouble.
H2O again is going to be slowed down as well, but he is not as sturdy as he thinks he should be. Able to make it out. I think that is literally 1 HP.
NXPE is down 500 gold here, 600 taken already, 2 minutes, not yet even here. First hurdle, clearly going to go over TNC. Some things never change. They are going to go for objectives, and it's good that they got this first blood. Now I understand. They're going to go off of sustainability, and they're going to pretend that like the early game doesn't exist.
Yeah, I have to say that TNC's lineup is deceptively itchy. I don't know how to say that.
Itchy.
It hurts.
It's persistent.
They're very persistent, and their DPS is actually consistent. So they're actually doing a pretty good job of taking the early game team fights, despite what we think their lineup is, which is basically a huge tank.
Well, I think you prolong the fight if you're TNC, and you kind of whittle down your opponent. That's what you're going for. But then you can also look at Yasuo, right? He's a huge damage potential output on that Wanwan alone if he can get to that point. And now Turtle fight happening here.
Turtle is going to be going in favor of NXPE H2O. Beautiful retribution. James will be slowed down. There goes the die-off, and the backup is just not ready. They just are not in position to go for the fight. They will have to disengage. That turtle go over to the NXPE is pretty big, though.
Yep. 2 things, good news, bad news. Number one, H2 still got it.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Retribution,
You know it.
That retribution, you gotta watch out. But the other thing, though, bad news. It looks like NXPE are of 2 different mindsets. You saw how Mycophobia was hesitating. I'm not sure if the execute was off of cooldown just yet. Wasn't watching it, but it looked like they were thinking, if they can get a kill, can we get a kill? Can we clean up? And it looked like Mycophobia was making the call. No.
Yeah, I think that confusion is also just the fact that you have so much tankiness to deal with from TNC. I mean, you have Ben Things and SD alone, right? So, and then you have to work around the hard guard. So they do have a ton of damage and burst potential, but sometimes finding those angles, finding those openings are going to be a little bit difficult here. They're really relying once again on James to kind of whittle them down with those paths, the way that Dairoth works, reduce that armor and then just burst someone down and hope to get that numbers advantage. So right now we're seeing them, right? Yes, they got that turtle, but still when it comes to the team fights here, they're going to struggle a little bit unless they can really find those moments. And that's what we're seeing, right, so far. Even though 2 kills in favor here of TNC, NXPE Evos has to be careful with how they approach those objectives fights, because in a small space like that, it is going to be tough to work around this Lolita alone.
Just watching the camera and Mycophobia's journey around the map, I would have to say that it is looking like he's having a hard time like finding targets. As strong as you are as an Natalia, as you are not visible on the map, it is hard to whittle down these tanky heroes.
Yep.
Right now, SD trying to walk up onto the bush. He does not have any problem fighting. He has the hard guard to work with, and that boiling lava is just not enough to slow down the attack of NXPE. Cramdo, he's whittling them down with all of those cloth fibers that just hurt when touches you. And I don't know, it was weird. That fight was weird for me.
It was odd. It seems like NXPE found their window.
Yeah, and right now we're gonna have to find out if there's anything that TNC can do against this turtle. Apparently there will be none.
So interesting, right? Because they still took the disciplined approach after that. TNC didn't actually commit to getting a kill there when they probably could have. So this is what I was saying, right? The burst, the damage potential is obviously there for NXPE Evos. If they can just kind of work around the ultimates, especially the hard guard, right, from Escalera, that might work for them. But here we go, another setup in mid.
Ooh, that was a beautiful Numino Blast. I don't even need to call that. That is a dead Yelly Haste if I've ever seen one myself. And that's going to be an easy kill for TNC. Again, very deceptively powerful lineup in taking kills, despite what their lineup looks like.
Yeah, that's Mycophobia not checking the right bush. And again, it's not because he was not doing his job. He just got overloaded. The rotational speed from TNC, given that Escalera has global presence and there is the Baksha Unite on SDZYZ, he just gets the places. They just get the places much, much faster. And now Donut, who is possibly the most farmed hero, I did not check, given the item check earlier, he is getting a lot of money. Oh no, not the fight up top!
He's got the backup, but will not be enough to save Donut here. Yelly Haze is in trouble. That is a very tanky SD, tanking up all those sour hits, and Mycophobia is just way too late to the party.
See, Mycophobia can't even go in there. He knows the rest of the team, but oh, in bottom of lane, James.
James is gonna take this kill easy peasy, lemon squeezy, and will be able to get out with one. Oh, will he though? Will he though? I don't think so, says SDZYZ. Picks it up, and that's 5-2 on the kill score, and more action on the map is just more fun for us.
Okay, big pickups here.
Yeah, and so far, both teams know exactly what they're doing and they're playing on different wavelengths. NXPE, despite the back and forth being down 4 kills, they were playing the map. Oddly enough, a damage-based lineup is playing the map, and that's what Mycophobia has been buying. The fact that we aren't seeing many kills on this Natalia, a roaming assassin, he's checking the right bushes for the long term. He's playing the long con here, but for next play, Evos, on the other end, you're looking at TNC, who is playing the major objective. So now both teams are playing contradictory to what their lineup may look like, and there's the first hurdle for TNC. So again, you're looking at TNC, textbook, where is it? Still Donut goes down.
And out of nowhere, that's just a kill that has happened again because of the hard guard. Because of the presence of the Angela, it's so easy for Kram to get near their targets, and it's also easy for him to actually just get those kills. And James also, again, slowed down once more by the Baksha, and then ganged up by the rest of TNC. Just got taken out without breaking a sweat.
This is what I'm saying, man. Actually, Leo is the one that said this. The speed of rotations here, and now they're focusing on the mid.
They're back on mid. Right there and then, Mycophobia will be able to make it out alive. And then you mentioned it, how fast SD went from bottom to mid and making a very tremendous amount of impact on the map.
This is what I like, right? Both teams have a mid, pretty much the global threat, right? You have the hard guard or you have the dawning light. But look at Escalera, right? Even running this impure rage on this Angela, and the fact that you can provide the hard guard. Yeah, exactly, right? And at the same time, you are able to slow members down for next play Evos. They're struggling with that. Donut, like we've seen, even with the flicker, without the flicker, he has a hard time if he's stuck alone. So again, they really need to focus on keeping Donut alive here, because when it comes down to it, both gold laners, but now H2O going to be the focus here in the bot.
Almost got that proc. If that right proc got hit, and that would have been trouble. Right now, trouble is happening up on top side, but Escalera will be able to make it in time to save Kram. Could have been a big dive there from NXPE. Again, stifled by the Angela.
Loving how TNC is actually playing the Angela here. You're going to see that it is rocking an impure rage. So it's pure magic damage Angela, but there you just saw how it can be used to actually extend a hero's life. So not only are they using it offensively, but also defensively.
Yeah.
So you're expecting now TNC to be playing off kilter, and it's that switch up, it's that clutch. They've changed gears, they switched gears, and it's put NXPE now down about 1,000 gold, which is interesting to see, given how it's 8-2, 6 kills down. Mycophobia is 0-1-1. Donut actually is down about 1,500 gold to 1,000. So the struggles are coming from odd angles. That's TNC's strength right now. So NXPE, what they gotta do is avoid things like this.
And they are gonna go in and fight. H2O can't even react anymore. The rest of the backline are not able to hit their marks just because of how overwhelming TNC is becoming here in this mid game. We're approaching 10 minutes on the game, and they are going for the fight around the load area. Donut, beautiful spray onto the Beerus fashion. James follows suit onto SD, and Donut takes care of Ben Finks. That is an almost wipeout there for NXPE, fighting off and taking a Lord as the spoils of war.
It's a rope-a-dope, back and forth, back and forth. The past 10 minutes have been more action-packed than possibly a single series in all of MPL Philippines Season 10. What exactly happened is NXPE, they understood they were rubber banding. They were rubber banding, and now this has propelled Donut 1,000 gold ahead. Earlier he was down, now Yasuo was the one struggling, given the fact that Yasuo had to build those steel leg plates, and all this time Donut was just building all damage, and they are now leveraging their main strength. It's so difficult to be TNC this time around, given that you were expecting to be using your defense as your main offense, and now the shoe's on the other foot.
Yeah, like I said, you got to be careful, Ron, especially with James on this Dairoth. And now they're going to be looking for a setup here on H2O.
H2O might be in trouble. No blast to the face. He is the main tank. He has no problem taking that damage. TNC hesitate there for a bit to go for the fight. And because of that, NXPE are starting to go full throttle on this siege.
This is a huge moment, right, for just NXPE EVOs in general, opening up the map for themselves, grabbing a bunch of turrets. And like I said, you focus on your gold lane here. Donut able to capitalize on, wow, already the damage showing here, right? So even with just those two items now into the base.
Showing up very much from the prowess with the Renner shots. Donut just slow down Yasuo so much, making it so hard for TNC to actually defend from behind the turret. And Crab is also experiencing that right now. Look at Donut go at it. And James on the bottom side, make sure those minion waves are in favor of the red side. And now it's going to be Crab diving in with a falling star move. He is going to be very low and taken out by Miko. Yasuo fights back on Miko. It's a good answer. And H2O going to be stopped, but not really. They're going to switch on over to mid lane, and they want to finish this right now.
Basically, it's Captain America versus Iron Man. On paper, as long as Iron Man can blast you, that shield's not going to do anything, and that's what this is. They've overloaded TNC's game plan of that persistent DPS and rotational speed. They have found their window, and now they're not letting go. They're down 4K. TNC are struggling to keep their heads above water.
Yeah, at this point, Donut is like the sleeping sniper. He slept for the whole game, and then right now, when your team needs it, he just woke up and tore everyone a new one.
And that explains the 29K that he's dealing. James, that's just how Abysm Strike works. As long as he sees that your life is very low, he can finish the job, and he is doing so well. Man, it's true what they say. The whispers down the grapevine. James is back.
James is back indeed, and you know that's the thing, right? I pointed this out in the draft for TNC. You know, you have this Angela running in the mid lane for you, and yes, Escalera has had a great game, sitting at 3-0-4, rocking that Imperial Rage once again. But still, you know, your opportunities, if you compare it to this later portion of the game on Yelly Haze with that Xavier, it's a lot harder to have those team fights go in your favor, because we see right now the struggle of Wanwan trying to really get those weak points off, trying to proc that crossbow of Tang, and that's what we're seeing in terms of team fight, right? They're looking for the setups here, and now popping out Conceal to see if they can get out Mikophobia.
Oh man, that's gonna be trouble here. Mikophobia, I think, might have panicked a little too much.
The Lord.
But the Lord will be the prize here for NXPE for that scouting and the information being given by Miko.
Your sacrifice is well appreciated. What NXPE is doing there, specifically Mikophobia, is he's just playing ward. He knew exactly where he wanted to be, where he needed to be, to check in and stop TNC from playing their game plan. TNC's game plan is play the map. NXPE, they're shrinking the map. They're making sure that the four that were away from Mikophobia could melt out whatever TNC had. So even if there is shields and persistence, there is DPS, there is all of the sustainability, NXP's gonna shred right through it. That's what bought them the 5K gold lead here, and this Luminous Lord marching down mid.
And it looked like it was planned, because Miko was back on the map at the same time the Lord got out.
Yeah, I mean, you know, calculated basically, right at this point. So TNC fully on defense here. Base completely going to be exposed. They've got, I mean, they just have to find the positioning, really. They know that they're going to be assaulted here by NXPE EVOs just shortly as they try to work on this Lord. It's going to be up to them. Yasuo already taking a huge hit. Make it two. Has to heal up, but here we go. NXPE EVO's going to siege into the base.
You got so many projectiles to worry about. What can they do? Abyssum Strike will be missing, and Lord will be taken out. Fight will be started here by the Numinal Blast. Crab is in the middle. He has hugged Miko, but he can't find him. James in trouble. When is flying. Yasuo switching over to Yelly Haze. Could be bad, but Yasuo might be in a bad position as well. Oh my god, that was proc already. That was so close there for Yasuo. The base! The base is the problem! Yeah, oh my god! And that's gonna be the way of NXP.